If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option, as Sori says. 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in a Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A child shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener.
All right.
We are in the midst of celebrating this beautiful freaking family.
Although I don't think Stacy's in that picture.
Really?
That's
not her?
That looks like all children to me. Well, unless she looks really young, but...
I just think she looks really young. I'm pretty sure that's her.
Stacy, are you in that picture?
That looks like Fernando.
Yeah.
That looks like Stacy. That looks like their oldest son and then their daughter. That's what it looks like to me.
All right. Well, there you have it, Stacy.
Or
she took the picture. Thank you. Okay.
Oh, she took the pic.
I mean,
people have baby faces. I don't know. Stacy, why would you take a pic and leave yourself out of it?
They wouldn't even have this. You should have asked that person in the background.
Look, it says she took the pic.
Yeah, Stacy took the pic.
Oh, just missing one daughter. Wait. Okay, so no, it was Fernando saying that Stacy took the pic.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, jeez. Well, just missing one daughter and myself.
Oh.
Well, good thing we didn't bet on that one.
Damn it.
That'd have been the first ever time Soraya won a bet. So, thank you for that support, Stacy. All right,
no,
song
I've
number
won
3.
bets before. You just
She's literally
figured
never.
out some.
She's literally never won it. She's some reality that demonstrated you're wrong. Go.
Black Label Society, "Bleed for Me" is the next song on the DJ stream tonight, and it says when you asked us on our last stream to share our secret in a book, the chorus from this song says it all.
Mm-hmm.
The secrets of their relationship are in this song.
I see.
So if
don't get any ideas.
If you guys,
probably gonna be some romantic, whatever. I'll bleed for you or whatever. Blah. Don't get any ideas.
Why not?
What you have is what you have.
By Joe Butts.
Let's do it.
That's what it says.
That's interesting.
It's kind of makes me nervous, the sound. This is interesting.
Oh, let's go. Let's go. Woo! Pantera Field.
This scream of life I give to you.
Oh, I miss Pantera, bro.
Account is up and running now. We are selling our formula officially. It's amazing stuff from Europe.
Made in Germany. Sold in America.
Highest standards there are. In America, the standards haven't been updated since 1980. It's super weird, like older than me. In Europe, they update safety standards basically every year. This formula is top notch, great for the stomach, great for constipation. This is a great product. If you happen to want to purchase it and join us on our journey, then grab the link in the description. If you do and leave a review for us, send me a screenshot at vinandsori@gmail.com of your review after you have received the product. We will put your name in a hat. Song reviews are going to come out by some of the people that have left reviews. Don't forget to send us a screenshot of your review once you get the product. Now a word from our mascot dressed as a pirate, Fuji.
It's a deal of a deal.
Whoa.
Yo!
This is a good one.
Bleed for me, Black Label Society.
This was a song of the night for me. That's for sure. This is a good one.
That one, I was paying very close attention to that solo. I was like, there you go. Zach Wilde's one of the greatest relative to that.
Wait, what? Zach, what'd you say? What'd you say? What?
I was paying attention to the solo. Because that dude from Black Label Society is like one of the best guitarists.
Oh.
I think it's Zach Wilde is his name. He's like one of the best. I was like listening very closely at that point.
Well, I think the guitar work was very good to listen to. I also thought that the chorus was really good. Let me look at verse 1 because I don't know if that changed. No, it probably isn't going to change what I think the chorus means. This grave of life I give to you. Ignore what was, you know it's true. Realms of fear, they speak the truth. What has passed, I hand to you. What do you think that means? Because I mean, like, I have some guesses or some assumptions, but this grave of life I give to you, like, I'm taking that as like, you're not like a perfect person, like a grave of a life.
Well,
what do you think he means?
It may be that a grave is where you put a dead body. So if you wanted to be really nihilistic, you could say this entire life, our entire existence really is in a grave. Because, you're essentially in the box already. It's just a matter of time. See what I'm saying? So the grave of life.
Yeah.
And you can look at that. You could look at that as a nihilistic way of looking at things, if you believe that death is like the end, right? But if you were to say,
that's interesting.
If you were to say, it's like I always say, if there was a city of people in a woman's womb, and let's say they were talking and shit.
Excuse me, I have a comment to post.
When a birth happens, if those people that were in that city in the womb, they'd feel bad for that person because they'd say, well, he was here, then he went out and he never came back. So, and those people inside the womb would have no evidence that there's life outside of the womb. So, if you look at the grave as just another womb, or you look at this world as like passing from one womb to another womb to where you're going to actually get out into the actual real world when you transition from this womb to the real outside world. Like if you think to yourself that when I was born, I was not born into the world, I was just born into a bigger womb. If you have that mentality,
that's
then
crazy, yeah.
Then death then becomes an ultimate birth. You'd say that birth would be a 2 or 3 stage process in that, from that mindset. So this grave of life I give to you is him like saying, especially like if you're deployed or something like that, you're always clear about your own mortality. Like that, not even that you're gonna die necessarily on that deployment, but you see death so much that you go, okay, this gonna be me one day.
I wonder. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
So, even because death has a perfect record except one. One time.
You'll never get that one.
Other than that, death has a perfect record. So, this grave of life I give to you, like whatever's left of my life, like I'll give to you. Ignore what was, it's true. Which, again, if you want to have like a long-term relationship, that line has got to be like the theme of your marriage. Ignore what was, it's true. Like you have to.
He's poking the bear.
So life is a womb-bearing person. Yes. We're not going to say Mother Earth. We're going to say menstruating person Earth or whatever.
Yeah, when is she going to get demoted? Oh my God.
But ignore what was, it's true. Like that line right there, that's a big principle for me, relationship-wise. Because there are certain actions that you commit in a relationship. I'm doing this. That taken in isolation is like, oh, this person doesn't love this person because this event happened. So ignore what was, ignore the situation that happened. It's true. Now that could go bad, right? That could be on the mouth of an abuser, like, hey, forget about that. I love you. But I think in all healthy relationships, there has got to be a lot of writing off of the past. Otherwise, you're not going to go anywhere. So I like that line, ignore what was, you know it's true. Because it's not denying that bad things happen, but I love, when I say, like, is this person's normal pattern of behavior? Mm-hmm. And if it's not their normal pattern of behavior, then that action itself does not invalidate all the truth I know about that person. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, but what happens in relationships where is something bad happened, for example, Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce or whatever. She went out and make the Lemonade record. Everybody's telling Beyonce, leave him, you're Beyonce, blah, 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 blah. In her mind, what he did was not definitional of how he's treated her for the majority of their relationship. And so she's ignoring that indiscretion because she doesn't want that trade-off. Because she's measuring him versus the other ways that he treated her. Now, obviously, I'd never want my daughters to go through any of that. Geez, no. But if you want any hope of a true, long-lasting, authentic relationship, you better have this as an idea. Ignore what was, it's true. You better have that, because y'all ain't gonna be together long. You put two selfish people together, you're going to have a Rolodex of shit that you can see. When people want to break up with people, like, that's the thing. There's always going to be a Rolodex of shit that you can complain about and say, hey, we're done. I'm not judging anybody anyway. I'm just saying, if your goal, especially if you're a young person, we got a couple of young people here. If your goal is to be
divorced, so I mean,
yeah. If your goal is to be in a long-lasting relationship, that's got to be front and center. Ignore what was, it's true. It's true. And, and I go through those progressions. Me and you were beefing or whatever. Like, I go through progressions like, wait a minute, she did this, she did this, she did this. This is true, this is true, this is true. Okay, boom. So this action right here does not reflect on our entire relationship. It's just this aspect. It was a moment of human weakness or whatever. And you can take it and then you can move on. Now, obviously, like I said, it gets dangerous because an abusive person could use the same logic. But again, with the abusive person, if the person hits you for the 98th time, then that has to go into, okay, that's the character of this guy in the relationship or this girl in the relationship. So I just think that that's a really good line. Mm-hmm. Realms of fear, they speak the truth. What has passed, I hand to you. So she's scared. It's true. She's scared. It looks like she wants to hold on to her heart and not get her heart broken. Go ahead.
I kind of thought that they were saying, like, so this grave of life I give to you, him just saying, like, whatever this life is, what's left of it, I guess. Or how you were interpreting, I guess that would work too. When he says, ignore what was, it's true, realms of fear, they speak the truth. I just felt like that this was, like, stuff that wants to kind of encroach on their relationship. The ignoring what was, like what you were describing. I think that's, but then when he said realms of fear, they speak the truth, I thought maybe that was from the perspective of, because you know how, like, when you're running through that, I do the same thing, only mine's different. But, like, you run through those things to try to, like, work through stuff. And then when he says realms of fear, they speak the truth. I didn't know if they were saying, like, because fear is always going to tell you that it's speaking the truth to you. Fear is never going to say this could not be true. But, like, when you get something in your head and you're full of fear about it, like, it's the absolute 1000% the truth. And it's extremely hard sometimes to even get your mind off of that, because you're like, no, this is what's true. And a lot of times, like, if you're a fearful person, it's hard to let go of fears and anxieties because you feel like fears and anxieties are what's going to protect whatever it is that you want protecting.
Yeah.
So he says, what has passed, I hand to you. I kind of felt like he was saying, like, look, everything that there was, that there is, that has been, that is, like, all of that shit, that's what's there. Like, look, this is it. And he's just, like, kind of, like, put it there. And then he says, bleed for me, I've bled for you. Embrace me, child, I'll see you through. Bleed for me, I'll bleed for you. That part, that chorus, I thought was really crazy. I've been thinking a lot about, like, unconditional love. And you had said, like, a couple streams ago or something, like, perhaps one of the reasons why we live or why we breathe is not just to know God, but also to, like, experience and give unconditional love. And I was thinking how like if people are in a relationship and you have one person that is trying their damnedest to give unconditional love, and you have another person who's selfish, the relationship's gonna have a hard time, because the one that's gonna give unconditional love is not sure how much unconditional love they should be still putting out if the other person is selfishly taking advantage. So I think that this chorus, I like this one because it's not like, hey, let's both do 50-50 or 100 whatever. Like, this one's bleed for me, I've bled for you. Like, okay, like, I've been through it so like, do the same for me. So it's kind of like that, like, all right, like, it's the give and take of the love, but also the, like, okay, well, we are sinners, so people are gonna get hurt here. Mm-hmm. So you can't always be the one getting hurt. It should be me sometimes too. Like, we gotta kind of balance it out, and then giving each other the love and respect, and obviously trying not to, intentionally, like...
Yeah, this is interesting. We were both coming off divorces at the time, and we're getting over the past to go forward with each other.
Wait, I'm sorry.
That's Stacy's.
Stacy said
comment.
What? We were both coming.
They
off
were
divorce.
both coming off divorces at the time. We're trying to get over the past. So.
Oh, you guys, or this song? What's
he said?
The writer.
They said we.
Oh, we. Okay.
So that's her.
Yeah.
And that makes it even more difficult, because when you got divorced, some catastrophic thing happened in the relationship, obviously, for it to be over. So now you go into the next relationship and you're thinking about marriage, and it's like, well, now I've got all this other baggage.
This grave of life I give to you.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, and then there's the past, and then there's all this. Like, it's extremely difficult. A lot of remarried couples don't make it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We hit the 5-year mark pretty good, happy about that, because that was the thing. They don't make it in the first 5 years. If you make it after the first 5 years, you're in good shape. But, it's relationships itself are difficult, but remarriage after the divorce is extremely difficult, especially if there's kids involved.
I think the hard part, or like the bit of advice or whatever, is not to connect every situation. Oh, and you probably would give the opposite advice. I don't know. Is not to connect every situation to everything else bad that always happened. But
in your current versus your previous relationship,
right? Yeah. Because in the past relationship,
I completely agree with that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because you do that in the past relationship. Yeah, there's gonna be, but these are different people. You're working with different people, and you're different. Maybe you're not a different person. Maybe you're the same person that was in the past relationship. One thing I think is important is to recognize what you did wrong in the past relationships, to kind of use everything and everyone around you as ways to see where you need to grow and where things need to kind of stretch and change, because nobody was perfect. No, there's literally not a perfect person. So there's been no relationships that were ended because, well, I mean, if it's abusive, that's
that's a complete. That's why I said something catastrophic happened. In which case, a woman is going to have a hard time trusting, man. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, they're going on 19 years next month. Holy shit!
Wow, congrats, you guys, 19 years.
Yeah, so it can be done. It can be done.
And like this is another thing.
They have a lot stacked against them. First of all, remarriage after divorce, that affects divorce numbers very, and also there were times when he got deployed.
Yep. Which
the military is not good on marriage either. So they figured it out. And I think a lot of, we got Delaney in here, we got Michelle, we got Ian, a couple younger folks. Like, a lot of times a successful relationship, is about catching that person like across the room and you're in love with her and blah, blah, blah. But if you want like a really significant, lasting, deep relationship where you actually are able to find somebody to love unconditionally. And like, when it's your kids, like, I get it, but a child doesn't have the capacity to do certain things that an equal in a relationship does. In other words, it's easier to love a child unconditionally than a spouse. There's no divorce court for children. Yeah, there is. You can go for, whatever, but it's not like 50% of fathers are disowning their sons or whatever.
Yeah, when people have kids, the thought is, I can't wait to have this kid. I want to be able to love this kid. Like, it's what you're going to give to the kid. We're preparing futures for our kids, like everything's, but when you get in a relationship, there is an expectation of, I'm not just here to give everything to you. I'm also here to receive from you as well. Right. So there's like a give and take in relationships.
Yeah. But you know, there's a lot of, you have to have a certain kind of mentality. Like, definitely feelings are important. I'm never going to say feelings aren't important. But you also have to have a principle and an understanding of commitment and loyalty to that person. And you have to commit to overlooking things that are not major for the sake of the relationship and being patient about major problems so that the relationship can continue. I just think a lot of, and especially in our generation where, you know, Twitter is 120 words and everything is just so fast and shortened and whatever. So now you got a whole generation of people. Everything is fast. Everything they want is at their fingertips, blah, blah, blah. There's not a lot of things that you have to work for. And a lot of people don't realize that, like, relationships are work, man. It's, you know, you see all those things, 100% guaranteed.
Yeah. Everybody wants the guarantee. There's no guarantee. Like,
yeah.
The only thing that you can do is if both parties are actually trying to make the thing work. That's really the thing. If you have one person that's not and the other one is, like,
and that's risky. I've seen situations though where the other person comes around and they make it. You know, a lot of people quit like way too early. And again, we're saying this as divorced people, but see, I like that extreme version of, like, bleed for me, I bled for you.
Yeah, I did too.
It's that sort of, like, unhealthy.
I did, yeah, right, yeah. I mean, but we're in good company. I think all of us are like, bleed for me, but that's good. You know
well, we're all metalheads. So
yeah, exactly.
Metalheads gonna be like, oh yeah. See, the thing for me though, like, I was listening to this thing on Focus on the Family one time, and they were talking about the Twilight phenomenon, and you had all these girls, Jesus is my Edward Cullen, or whatever, and there's a part, though...
I could... There's two sides to that.
There is a part, though,
throw in with it.
where if you look at how Jesus deals with people, especially... Yeah. If you said, okay, this guy's not God, okay, he's just a regular dude, like... He was an extreme, like, deny yourself, take up your cross and follow me, which is him saying, bleed for me because I bled for you.
I thought the same thing when I heard, yeah.
So it's like, dude, you're making some demands.
Take up your cross.
That are, you're not a very balanced, like, lover. Like, that's one of the big things where, like, in my relationship with God, that I almost never talk about. Like, when you experience, like, the intensity of the obsessive intensity of Jesus for his folks, like, I've said a couple, like, if it wasn't you, man, like, that'd be really unhealthy. It's like, if you read those passages, like, dude is like, you know, like, many of your thoughts toward me more than I can count. It's like, you're standing there, like, Facebook stalking this person. You know how many hairs are on their head. You know they're sitting up and they're going down. Like, he's constantly watching all the time. But it's not like a curious watching. It's like an obsession type thing. Like, if you had somebody... I'd do, like, a little short movie where I had, like, some dude stalking somebody, like, watching every move that they made.
You really should get into...
And the entire time you think the guy's a bad guy, and then it turns out that it's God the whole time, like, obsessing over this person.
Yeah,
like,
crazy.
Like...
You have so many of those shorts that...
Yeah, I know.
You're the next Darman.
So many of those, yeah. Yeah, but it does... like, we have a very intense relationship. The feelings are always, like, very, like... you know, raw, and, like, there's always an exposed nerve either way. Mm-hmm. And I think, you know, like, being with me, like, that's, you just have to deal with those extremes, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's part of accepting the thing. But yeah, but it's also, it's very fascinating stuff. I'm not gonna get into all of it because it's pretty personal, but yeah, it's deep stuff.
I liked this part when he said, "Embrace me, child. I'll see you through," because it was like, okay, so we're talking about a relationship song, then all of a sudden he's saying, "Embrace me, child." I thought that seemed initially a little, it kind of threw me off. It was a little odd to me, but then I was like, actually, there's times where, like, so if Johan is upset about something, like, he just will just start melting down. Like, it all seems kind of sudden, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so something's, like, really bothering him, and he hasn't realized that there's something bothering him and he should talk about it. Well, there was something going on between us, and I didn't realize what I was doing, how it was affecting you. And you were acting, and to me it was like, that's not like Johan. The way that you were kind of going about it. And then I said, wait, maybe I'm hurting his feelings. And then like we upon further investigation, yeah, that was actually what was happening. And so when it said "embrace me, child," I liked that because like sometimes I try to like back out of a situation and like I'll picture you as like a kid and be like, okay, like what's happening here? Like, you know what I mean? Like sometimes emotions can get so high that you're just like fighting against a person, you're protecting yourself, and you feel like, what are they saying? But like sometimes I just try to simplify it to like, we're both two kids and we're trying to figure this out. Mm-hmm. Like, we don't have to be basically 40-year-old people that have been through a divorce and, you know what I mean, like calloused and cold. And I don't want to be that type of person. Like, I want to be like, we're two 10-year-old kids and we're trying to figure this out together. You know what I mean? Like, and so that part, like the embrace me, child, I'll see you through. I thought also that it was like, because so it would be like, I guess it could go either way, but like if you were to like, you saying to me, hug me, and I'm gonna help you work through this. You know what I mean? Like it's us working together. It's like I'm gonna help you. We're gonna do this together. You know, like there's like that closeness to it, and I liked that part, and I liked the. But verse 2, I'll dig the hole and bow my head. Oh yeah, to see you smile, I face my death. Realms of fear, they speak the truth. What is past, I hand to you. Yeah, it's just it was
deep song.
And it had some intensity to it, and lyrically, and obviously anybody that's in an intense relationship would understand that. Sometimes I wish everybody could have an intense relationship, and then I think not everybody could survive an intense relationship.
What do you mean survive? Like stay together or like survive?
Whatever. Just, however people deal with.
Let's see. That's the other side to it. Like if you look at Stacey and Fernando, like they have very practical, forgive each other, blah blah blah, let go of the past. But if you look at the songs that they dedicate to each other, they're also pretty extreme.
Yeah, you guys are built for some intensity, I believe.
You have a good balance of like real, just practical day-to-day shit as far as like just growing as a person, and then there's the, you gotta have both. You gotta have both. Some couples are like so boring, it's like, and other couples are like unstable. I mean, it's great to look at. I love the Facebook updates. I love them. Like, people from past life and shit. Like, just watching them going back and forth. Shorty was like, I hate him. He's a liar. Called him out by name. He's a liar. Blah, blah, blah. You can have him for his evilness, she says. And then, like, 2 hours later, that gets deleted. And she's...
Out with Bay.
Yeah. Nope. She's got her head on his chest.
For real?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's so entertaining. So then all the girls, single friends that are completely alone and hopeless, they're like, I told you didn't need him, girl.
Yeah,
Come on over.
Yeah.
I'm coming, girl. I'm coming. And then again, the next thing, that's deleted. And At Home with Bae. This song's a 9.3 for me. Shout out to confused women everywhere.
Oh, man.
9.3.
Oh. 10 for me. And
oh wow,
I would
10.
give this one like a 9.8, but I bumped it to a 10 because this one's definitely one on my playlist. And listen to this one for more. And it's good. I like this one. 10.
This
Black
is
Label
deep,
Society.
This is a deep song.
Yeah.
This is a deep.
Lyrically is what pushed it up.
They should write a book. Y'all should write a book.
We've been telling them to.
You know what book I'm gonna write? It's called Vin Out.
Sorry out.
Gone. We got another song coming up. Don't touch that dial.